How should readers really discern good advice from bad when listening to popular financial experts?
Yeah, so like I said, Dave Ramsey roots a lot of his recommendations in emotion, right? My client, my listeners need to have hope. They need to have this aspirational feeling that they can get out of debt and get on the road to financial independence. And we shouldn't throw roadblocks in their way, and we shouldn't get bothered with the math and calculators and what the financial experts supposedly say. So, so for me, how do you counter all that? You counter all of that emotion and all that wishy-wash recommendation with actual math, And so that's why, and in several of the chapters, um, I go through a scenario, for example, in chapter 5, where we have someone who's in the accumulation period, they're saving money for retirement. And I say, okay, what if we took the worst parts of what all these gurus are saying and put together a recommendation based on the worst parts of what they're saying? For example, we can't use cash value life insurance. We can't use annuities. You can't do Roth conversion, so you can't shield yourself from the impact of higher taxes. And then you compare that to a recommendation that's more within that power of zero worldview, where you can use life insurance, you can use annuities, you can use Roth conversions, you can shield yourself from the effect of future tax rates. And I compare the before and after, and I'll tell you what, it's like night and day. I mean, if you do the guru recommendation, you run out of money far in advance of life expectancy. When you do the recommendation that I talk about in all my different books, and that's rooted in math and actuarial science, your money not only lasts through life expectancy, but you pass money on to the next generation. And so, so I did that for somebody in their accumulation years, and I did it for someone in their retirement years as well. And really, so the math is what we have to. And in fact, if somebody says, why should I believe you, Stephen, versus Dave Ramsey? And you say, because I've got math on my side. I can corroborate everything I'm recommending to you with math and science. And so that really is the filter that we have to use to distinguish ourselves from what the mainstream financial personalities are preaching.
Yeah, I love that. Let's open up their eyes and their ears and teach them, give them the math and the science behind it all, and make sure we're giving the best recommendations that we possibly can. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, David, in this book, like, are there any unique features of chapters in this book that you are particularly excited for readers to discover?
Well, I just talked about chapter 5 and 6. I'm really excited for you guys to see the comparison of this, the step-by-step strategies that we recommend to our clients, in contrast to what the gurus might recommend. But I'm also really, chapter 1 is really, really interesting because people say, how come Dave Ramsey believes the things that he does when nobody else believes those things? Why does Dave Ramsey, for example, preach an 8% withdrawal rate when it just leaves himself open as a target for all these people to just nail him from every different direction? And it just seems that what he's recommending is so far outside the mainstream financial thought. Why is that? And I give five different explanations for why Dave Ramsey seems to be recommending all of these oddball, zany type of retirement planning principles when it's so at odds with what everybody else is saying. And I think readers will be really interested in those 5 reasons why Dave Ramsey ended up being the way that he is. And then I've got a whole chapter on cash value life insurance. And cash value life insurance is, at least there's some experts out there that some financial gurus, well, I got to qualify that. Cash value life insurance is something that is sort of universally panned by financial gurus, but is so easy to make a mathematical justification for. So it's so easy to pull back the curtain on what these financial gurus are saying vis-a-vis cash value life insurance, because the math is so transparently obvious that it's going to help people out. And I referenced the recent study by Ernst & Young that came out a few months ago that talks about, it compares someone who is doing investments only to someone who's doing investments and life insurance. And then it compares someone who's doing just investments in life insurance to someone who's doing investment, life insurance, and annuities. And it shows that the people that are using all three, that three-legged stool, get way more income in retirement, and their money lasts longer, and they pass more money on to the next generation. And when you look at the little footnote in that study, and it talks about the context in which life insurance is used, it's used as a volatility buffer. What does that mean? That means if you can build 3 to 5 years worth of living expenses inside the cash value of your IUL or whole life, what have you, in the year following a down year in the stock market during retirement, if you pay for your living expenses out of that cash value, that gives your stock market portfolio a chance to recover before you take further distributions. And according to that study, that act alone can double the sustainable rate of withdrawal on your stock market portfolio. And with a 95% likelihood you won't run out of money. I mean, this is huge stuff. This is absolutely eye-opening. And if Dave Ramsey says 100% of cash value sucks 100% of the time, and then you come back with, well, what about the volatility buffer strategy? He's not going to know what the heck you're talking about because he's just not even familiar with it. So all 5 of these people who say you shouldn't touch cash value life insurance with a 10-foot pole would not be prepared to answer the strategy of a volatility, but they wouldn't be able to combat what we're saying. They wouldn't be able to answer the math that we bring to bear in that sort of a confrontation. So I think it's just so important for us to be familiar with the math and the mathematical justification for why we're recommending these products. If we can't give a mathematical justification for why we're using it, then maybe the gurus are going to win out in the end. And so one of the big thrusts of the book is to familiarize everybody with the mathematical justification for why we're recommending life, why we're recommending annuities, and how that's ultimately going to help people wring the most efficiency out of their retirement savings. Folks, my upcoming book, The Guru Gap, How America's Financial Gurus Are Leading You Astray and How to Get Back on Track, is now available for pre-order on Amazon. Take the opportunity to order your copy today. By the way, in the next 10 years, I'm looking to put 1 million Americans on the road to the 0% tax bracket. If you would like some help implementing a balanced, comprehensive approach to tax-free retirement that shields you from the impact of higher taxes down the road, head on over to davemcknight.com and click on the Connect with an Advisor button. I'm happy to refer you to an advisor in the Power Zero network that's been trained, vetted, and qualified personally by me. If you're a financial professional and want to learn how to become a certified Power Zero advisor, head over to powerzero.com and opt into my free video series. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them into the comment section below. I'll do my very best to respond to every single one of them personally. And don't forget to click like, subscribe, and the bell so you never miss a video. This is David McKnight. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.